Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're just going to be talking about some running themes and similarities that can be seen between Encanto and Frozen, because watching Encanto I couldn't help but notice a lot of similarities in themes and running situations that occurred in the movie that I saw in Frozen as well. So without any further ado, let's just dive straight into this video and discuss these things. Now, first thing on the list is the sharp contrast between Elsa and Mirabel. Elsa is the only one born with magical powers in a world where no one else has magical powers. Meanwhile, Mirabel is the only one born without magical powers in a family where everyone is blessed with magical powers. And it's just remarkable seeing how both characters struggled with their fates in both worlds. If you bring Elsa to the Madrigal house, she's just another normal member of the family. Meanwhile, if you leave her in Arendelle, she's the old one now. She was the monster as we saw in the first film. And then if you take someone like Mirabel to Arendelle, you see that she's just normal. So seeing the way that they both cope with it, being different from everyone in the world where you live in, this was just fun seeing this sharp contrast, seeing these two characters play out the dynamics in their differences in two different worlds. The next thing which both films tackled beautifully is the effects which trauma has on an individual. In Elsa's situation, it was her incident with Anna when she blasted her in the face and then it almost cost her life because of that singular act, and then coupled with the surrounding incidents that made her to become fearful of her powers and all that, it made her grow up to be very fearful. Like, that singular event alone changed the way her relationship with her sister was. She became very fearful, the need to conceal herself and stay away from people in order to protect them. And that entirely alone just destroyed the relationship which we had with her sister. And looking at Abuela's story, she faced similar thing too. The death of her husband, which eventually led to them getting their miracle, made her to be so protective of the miracle that in the end she lost sight of who the miracle was actually for. And if not for that traumatic event, she would have been a different woman, she would have had a different life. So the way both films handle trauma in the life of these two individuals, that's Elsa and Abuela, is just something beautiful that the movies highlight. And in the end, all we can take home is that dwelling in the past is of no good to any of us, either ourselves or our loved ones. And all we have to do, though it's not easy, is just to move on. Next on the list is the symbolism which dolls play in both movies. Dolls in Frozen was what Anna described as being tired of being shot in her face. Dolls were used to symbolize the wedge between Anna and Elsa's world, whereas Elsa is hiding in the walls to keep her powers away from Anna. Anna wanted to get through the door to get to her sister because she didn't want to be alone. So seeing how dolls were represented in that movie is just so nice to see the exact opposite in this one, whereby a doll is the main thing that every Madrigal kid looks forward to when they turn 5 to get to unlock their new powers. Dolls in Encanto seem to rather welcome the family members into the same thing that made Elsa to stay locked up in Arendelle all those years long. So this is us just having dolls playing two different roles in two different worlds. Now, last but not the least, another running thing which can be seen in both films is isolation. It's rather in human nature to treat what we don't understand with fear. And with that is seen especially in how Bruno and Elsa are treated in both films. Elsa's power was strange, it was not understood by anyone in Arendelle, and because of that, they hid her. When her powers came to shine, people called her a monster, and she faced isolation for how many years? 10 years, the same time frame with Bruno as well. And we see the same thing in the song We Don't Talk About Bruno, whereby the whole time we just kept saying terrible things and exaggerated stuff about him, not knowing that he's just the messenger. He isn't the one controlling fate. He's just bearing the message that this is what is going to happen. But because of that, everyone saw him oh, Bruno is the bad omen, this and that. And then Abuela didn't make the whole situation better for him, and then he just left the family. The only difference between the two of them is that Elsa ran away when she got the opportunity, but Bruno, couldn't leave because the mountains of the Encanto Valley were so tall, so he stayed in the house because he loved his family. And it's just a sad combination, the two of them put together, Elsa and Bruno, how they dealt with isolation because they were different, because people didn't understand their powers, people didn't understand how they were struggling with the gifts they had, making the two characters to feel the need to rather be alone than to be with the people they love. So that's my take, just a few similarities and running themes that I noticed in both films, Encanto and Frozen. Two good films, different but beautiful in their own way. So what are your thoughts about these things? Did you notice something in Encanto that you saw in Frozen as well? Let me know that down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching this video. It has been a joyride covering Encanto. Check out more of my videos. I make videos on movies, my favorite video games and everything I love. Please hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye!